Hello, I'm Katie Elizabeth, and I'd like to welcome you to my vlog, entitled, On My Soapbox.
Hi, this is Katie Elizabeth. It's been a while since we had a vlog. You know, I have to tell you, I've kind of had a lot of things coming at me that I feel are awesome opportunities, but also, kind of a responsibility kind of thing. And I think, it's time. Maybe it's just time to stop blaming Washington, D.C., our sequestration, their sequester. They're just letting it all run up and rack up and going to blame each other and, all of that. And it's like, maybe it's time to just stop blaming Washington, D.C. for everything going on in this country and realize how truly inept our politicians are. Because, my question is, while all of us are blaming them for blaming each other, see, we've played into it. And that's the annoying part. Doesn't it annoy? I mean, it annoys me to think of myself as a player. So, my thought is, who's actually standing up and trying to make a difference? And I'm not talking about politicking in your spare time, or necessarily even running for office, because it appears that once you get involved in that cycle, it's like it's all, it's all over. I'm talking about actually reaching out and helping someone, or actually passing along an overage that you don't need, or just stop being so dependent on an inept system. It's not just Washington politicians who are greedy and easily bought. It's all of America. Or the majority. The politicians just lead a country of people just like themselves. We don't like to say that. We don't want to admit it, but it's true. Selfishness comes in all packages and on all socioeconomic levels. I blogged about a state that threw away hundreds of pounds of donated venison, and that made me so angry because one person at a homeless shelter complained about having to eat deer. Well, you know what? If somebody's hungry and somebody else is willing to share, what gives? And if someone is so selfish as to live off the charity of others, the individual who complained wasn't providing their own roof or their own food or their own warmth. So, I'm going to make a really bold statement here, but, it's an old cliche. Beggars can't be choosers. So, how is it in America we have exalted and exemplified choosy beggars? Because we have them. And I just called it what it is. Yeah, we go right on blaming Washington, but, maybe, just maybe it's time to look at our own backyard. I gotta tell you, I'm a boomer. I just had a birthday. I'm 55 years old. I know more baby boomers on disability than I do in the workforce. And most of the boomers, they're just what? The early boomers are just 2 years into the retirement age. I'm serious. I know more boomers on disability. So, I gotta say, no doubt Washington politicians like to feather their nest. But we're hard-pressed to find anyone in this country that isn't out for number one. And, with over 300 million people, it's going to be tough for everybody to get to be number one. And I'm learning. I can tell by someone's air of their presence, their yard, their way of life. I can tell you, regardless of the age, I can tell you who's earning their money and who's just cashing a check.
I'm glad you joined me for this episode of On My Soapbox. This is Katie Elizabeth, and I approve this message.